Hello and welcome to this tutorial on creating a simple plastic container that shows some of the features in SolidWorks on dealing with plastic componentry. So this is the part that we're gonna look at, and we will basically make two parts, and both of these parts are actually in the same part file, and they're two separate bodies. So we'll look at that throughout the tutorial. Add some, basically a screw boss and a hole to countersink that screw head so that the top's nice and flush. We add some ribs, and then if we look on the inside here, so there's a lip and groove that we can easily get into with our plastic features. So if we look through the sketch, it's a basic top and bottom. So the top or the bottom is 15 by 80 by 60, and then that top is 80 by 60, and then it's 10. So let's go ahead and open up a new part, and we will dive right in. So new part already saved with a part number, and we'll pick that top plane and create a sketch. We'll center rectangle, and we'll get that 60 by 80 dimensions in there. All right, and then we can, again, we don't have to exit the sketch. We can just jump right into our extrude, and there's our part. So the first thing you'll notice on that drawing is that it's drafted. So we will actually create the draft using that draft command, and that's a feature. So the draft on the top is 1 degree, and our bottom, so when you're doing a draft, you need a neutral plane. So our neutral plane will choose that top, which is also that bottom side. And then all of the faces to draft are around the outside here, because those are the ones that we want coming in and out. So when doing a draft, it's better, it's easier to see when you do with a bigger angle. So they're all drafted. So we'll go back to 1. Oh, don't hit the enter yet. So we'll go to 1. And we'll check the tick box there. So now if you were to click on that line, you'll know down here is the dimension. And then if we select that other line, you'll notice that it's not as long as the bottom line. And that's because this is drafting up to a point at a 1 degree. So all four of those sides are drafted in. You'll see that without having 60 or 80 as your dimensions. So now we'll create another sketch, and we'll create the bottom half. So I'm sketching on that bottom surface, and instead of actually drawing anything, I'm going to use that convert entities. And because I had selected the face, it takes all the outer edges, and you'll notice there's 4 black lines there, so we're good. So now we can extrude. So I'm doing this part in two different extrudes, so I can show you the I'm drafting in 2 different ways. So this time when I draft, I'm going to actually do a draft. You can do a draft right in your extrude. So I'm going to click this draft on, and we will draft, and it's a 2 degree draft. And again, we don't want it outwards, we want it inwards. So draft on plastic parts just helps it come out of the mold a little bit easier. So I just realized that this dimension is 15, so we'll do that. So typically I recommend for you to not use fillets until the very end, but in this case, we kind of need to because we're going to shell. And when we shell without the fillets, it becomes strange. So we'll do these corners first. So if I click on that corner and then I come up here, you'll notice that when I select this one, it chooses all the same corners of that same rectangle. So I'll select that. And if I choose this bottom one, I can select that. So instead of selecting 8 different corners or edges, I can select 2 and use that menu to get it. Then we'll choose, you can do all the fillets all in one, but I like if they're different sizes. And again, with the tangent on, you just select those 2 edges and there's our 5 degrees or 5 millimeter fillet. So that's basically the exterior shape. And then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to shell. And that dimension is missing on the drawings, but the 3 millimeters is the thickness that we're going to do. So if you want to see a preview, you can see, because when you finish it, there you don't actually see anything. So you'd have to use that cross section to see that it's a hollow box. So that's the basic shell, the shell of the part. So in the second tutorial, I will go through putting in those features. So this is Plastic 1, and you'll look at the features in Plastic 2. Thank you.